when I was living in Florence, like I went around Italy a lot. Like went to Venice, I'd been into Milan, a lot of places. But like we went to Siena on foot.
Whoa.
That was like a 19-hour plus walk, like nonstop. It was mad Christ. Cold. Yeah, because my boy was like,
you walked 19 hours straight?
Yeah, I was showing my boy one night at his crib. He was a Chinese kid. There's a lot of Chinese kids there in Florence. And he was like, yo, we should go to Siena. And he had been telling me to go to Siena. Like, and I'm like, all right, word. But let's walk there. And he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, you heard me. Let's walk there. And he's like, what? You sure? I'm like, yeah. So the next morning we were in class. We told our other Chinese boy. And we're like, yo, we're doing this today. Like, meet at my crib at 6 p.m. And he's like, yo, you dead ass? And we're like, yeah. This is all happening in Italian because, like, they speak Chinese and I speak, you know what I'm saying? Not
so you
Chinese.
found like a commonality.
Yeah, we had to speak. Like, we had to speak with our chopped up Italian and whatnot. So he's like, all right, I'll come, but I'll bring my other Chinese boy. So now it's like 3 Chinese kids and me. And then I got this Venezuelan girl to come too. Somehow I finessed. So then they all met up in front of my crib at 6 p.m. I don't know why we had the grand idea to walk through the night. It wasn't even through the morning or anything. It was like straight through the night.
Started at 6 p.m.
Yeah, so we're all there. We're thinking it's going to be like a warm evening or whatever. Yo, big mistake. It was the coldest night of the season. Like we couldn't stop for a minute because we started shivering. But like I've never shivered that hard in my life.
Couldn't y'all have like taken a train the next morning?
Nah, we could have, but that's not the adventure.
That's not how you roll.
Nah, so
you're already that deep. You might as well finish where you started.
We were shivering so hard, but we were exhausted. So we stopped for a second, and we had at one point we found this little playground, and 3 of us hid inside of the house at the same time to try to stop shaking, but we couldn't. So we had to keep walking, and two of them didn't make it. Like, true story.
They didn't make it.
Nah, they didn't make it. Like. So we got to
They're
one
still
town.
there.
So
homies passed away.
One of the towns we passed by, like every time we tell somebody, they'd be like, "Yo, where you come from? Whatever this and that. Like, what's the deal?" They'd be like, "Oh, we come from Florence." They just laugh at us. They'd be like, "Nah, you're lying. Like, impossible." And then in one of those towns, like one of the Asian kids, a friend of our friend, couldn't make it anymore because this man, for some reason, came in like slippers or some shit. So his feet were like falling apart, bro. This is like 6 hours into the journey. I don't know what this man was thinking. So he's like, my other man is over here like with his arm over his shoulder and shit, like sliding down. Like, no, he's not gonna make it, bro. Like he has to stay, this and that. Like, we need a hotel or something. And then my other boy's panicking because he doesn't know what to do. And I'm like, yo, listen, like I'm already on this journey. Like, I'm gonna finish it one way or another. Like, I don't know about you guys, but
this is some shit Alberto would get me into.
I'm just picturing him with a bunch of Chinese dudes, all like shivering, all yelling broken Italian. Like, bro, how funny is that?
That's how it was going. Yo, real talk, like that, 100%. And then the Venezuelan girl didn't even speak Italian because she's a new student, so she was just like going off of what I was saying. So, so
it sounds like a shit show.
Yeah, so I look at my boy and I'm like, listen, bro, like, I'm doing this one way or another. You with me or you're not? And then the Venezuelan girl at this point is like panicking too because she's like, oh, Gabe, like I had hip surgery or some dumb shit. I'm like,
shit.
I'm like, listen, yo, we're gonna be okay. Like, I'll carry your bag for you, whatever. And so I cut a deal. So the 2 guys, we left them. They went to do their own thing. I cut a deal with the girl. I said, listen, the next town, if we come by another town and we'll find you a hotel, but I tricked her because I saw the entrance to the next town. I took the outside route. So then, and then fast forward, as the sun was coming up, bro, like we were in the middle of like the vineyards in the movies, and I was, at that point I was like, yo, like I gotta do something. Like my team is falling apart. So that's when I started throwing up the thumbs up, and like we hitchhiked the rest of the ride.
All right, so it wasn't a straight 19-hour walk.
Nah, it was straight like it was because then we walked like. Oh, right. How did it was? I'm not counting the time we rested because when we hitchhiked, they dropped us off at a cafe, and they're like, "Yo, we can take you to Siena the rest of the way, but you got to sit here for like 6 hours." But that's the time we didn't walk.
All right,
like the walking part was 19 plus. And they took us, and then we just got there. We did one trip, one little circle around the city, and then we took a train back.
So it was a 24-hour endeavor. It was a whole day.
It was a whole situation.
Yeah.
And then when I turned...
This is some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Nah, it was lit. But like my feet...
No, I mean, it sounds lit, but like,
my feet had bubbles on them and stuff when I got home and everything. It was crazy.
Did
But
you have your camera on you?
I took my GoPro, but I had the water casing on it, so like the video was trash.
Bummer.
And then when I was turning 19, I was like, I'm gonna give myself a birthday present. I like Eastern like European culture a lot, and but I hadn't made my way out there yet. So I was like, all right. So I bought a plane ticket to Romania. And I stayed in this hostel with this prostitute living under me for the first couple of nights. But then they had to kick her out because she was a prostitute. And and then I hitchhiked to Bulgaria, which is another crazy time. But yeah, that's
So you really like hitchhiking?
it was kind of like the thing back in that time, I suppose.